What's up, ladies and gents, Ghost here, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the newest build for Battlefield 4. So DICE sent out a blog post yesterday thanking us all for our participation in the beta and telling us what they're going to change in the release of the game based upon our feedback. So this is really great to see because the last video I made, I pointed out a lot of things I liked about the beta, but a lot of things that I didn't like so much and I thought could be improved upon. Lots of these issues were things that other people and other YouTubers also commented on, so it's great to see that DICE are actually listening to us and are acting upon our feedback. Alright, so let's start off with some of the infantry changes. First off, they fixed some of the sound effects and the way that it feels when you get shot within the game. So often in the beta, if you were the victim of a quick and clean kill, so say if somebody shot you in the head and it only took 2 or 3 bullets to kill you, often you would only hear one single sound effect and you felt like you got instantly killed. People didn't really know this was down to the netcode, down to rubber banding or whatever. It was actually just bugs with the sound and the camera within the game, so they fixed that. Some of the weapons within the game, namely the assault rifles, have seen a few nerfs, so I did think that the AK-12 certainly needed a nerf. In burst fire mode, that thing was firing at 1,000 rounds per minute, which is, needless to say, a little bit crazy. So they've now brought that 1,000 rate of fire down to 750, which is still bigger than the 680 rate of fire that you get with automatic, so you do still gain an advantage by switching to burst fire mode, but it's nothing absolutely insane like it was in the beta. All the weapons accuracies for high rate of fire weapons at longer ranges have been brought down a little bit, so they felt like you could kill people from a little bit too far of a range with the AK-12, and even with the Scar H, people were killing people from one side of the map across the other side, and it is going to correlate with rate of fire, so as rate of fire gets lower, it is going to be easier to kill people at longer distances, but overall, aimed fire, automatic fire at long distances has seen somewhat of a nerf. Now the ammo and med packs have seen somewhat of a buff, so the throw distance for both of these items has been increased. It was already quite far. If you aimed at a player, they would sort of lob the ammo or the med pack quite a far distance, but apparently that's been increased even further, so it's going to make them a little bit more favourable over the kits. And one other thing that I'm really happy they did is they really buffed the ammo packs. I actually mentioned in my last video that they were somewhat underpowered, and once you unlock the ammo kit, you really had no reason to use the ammo packs. Well, now instead of just replenishing one magazine for your primary weapon, they will reload 2 magazines of bullets instantly and up to a total of 4 magazines per pack over time. So presumably they're going to act now like the med packs do, and if you pick up an ammo pack, you will instantly replenish 2 magazines, and then you will replenish a 3rd and eventually a 4th over time, probably as long as you don't get shot. So really nice change by DICE there. It definitely gives the ammo packs some usefulness over the ammo kit, just like the med packs have. The revive time has been changed from 7 seconds up to 10 seconds to give people a little bit more of a chance to actually revive people with the defibrillator now. And I really agree with this change. If you played the beta, you'll know that by the time you ran over to somebody and charged up your paddles, they were unrevivable by the time you actually got over there, which was, needless to say, quite a bit annoying. In fact, I rarely ran with the defibs. I usually just decided to go with a grenade launcher and found that that was much more useful on the whole. So definitely a change that I agree with there. Moving on to some vehicular changes, let's start with the launchers, shall we? The Igla and the Stinger have seen a damage increase. In the beta, it actually took 4 Iglas or Stingers to take down an enemy chopper. This is a huge buff because they're now upping the damage from 25% to 35%, meaning it will only take 3 Stingers or Iglas to take down an attack chopper. This was already a crazy nerf from Battlefield 3. If you got hit with 1 Stinger or Igla in BF3, you were disabled, which more often than not meant that you were out of the game unless you could manage to land and repair. So having 4 Stingers or Iglas was a little bit much. The RPG and SMORE are no longer able to lock on. I don't think this comes as a big surprise for anyone. I think everybody knew that they were going to take this out of the game because it was overpowered. If you had a recon and an engineer working together in a squad trying to take down vehicles, especially since you could lock onto both ground and air vehicles, they could take out vehicles all over the place, no problem at all. And on top of that, they also one-shotted helis. They've now actually given a nerf to the damage of laser lock-on weapons. So now instead of doing a maximum damage of 100%, they only do a maximum of 90%. So they will disable vehicles, but it at least gives the pilot a chance to recover and use his extinguisher. They've also fixed the annoying lock-on bug where if you were targeted by a laser designated weapon and they fired away an RPG, you actually didn't get any warning sound that it fired it, and you didn't therefore know when to flare. So they fixed that. Now here come a couple of surprising changes, at least to me. They've actually given a nerf to the 40mm and 25mm infantry weapon damage. So that means the XM25, also the 320mm grenade launcher, they've seen a nerf to vehicular damage. So they'll still do the same damage to infantry, but they won't do as much to vehicles anymore. And I really liked, actually, how the M320 grenade launcher did a substantial amount of damage to vehicles as the assault class, because it meant you didn't really feel so helpless as assault anymore. Apparently, they have now nerfed these weapons to emphasize their anti-infantry roles. They've also nerfed the damage that the main cannon does against vehicles on the IFV. Now, I kind of get this. I mean, IFV does stand for Infantry Fighting Vehicle, and they want to emphasize its role as such. But it's already seen a huge nerf since the days of Battlefield 3. Back there, you could definitely rival a tank in a one-on-one situation if you were in an IFV. But in Battlefield 4 Beta, that was no longer the case. So now they've nerfed this weapon even further against armor. I'm not sure you're going to have any kind of fighting chance if you come up against a tank. And one final little bug change, they've changed the accuracy of the crosshair on the tank. Sometimes the tank shell wasn't always lining up with where you were aiming with a crosshair, and apparently that was a bug and they've now fixed that. So that about does it for any noteworthy changes. There are quite a few more, and I'll link the blog post down below in the video description so that you guys can go and read them and check them out for yourselves. And let me know down below, what do you guys think about these changes? I gotta say that I agree with most of them, apart from possibly those last two about the IFVs and the grenade launchers. I really like how they were performing in the BF4 beta, and I'm not quite sure how they're gonna be now in the full game, but I guess in, just over 1.5 weeks, we will find out soon enough. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up down below, take it easy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.